Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will introduce the comparator interface. You have learned to compare objects using the comparable interface. What happens if the objects are not instances of comparable? You can define a comparator to compare these elements. The comparator interface has the compare method for comparing two objects. The compare method comparing two objects returns an integer. Returns a negative value if element 1 is less than element 2. A positive value if element 1 is greater than element 2. And 0 if they are equal. Here's the example to define your custom comparator. We define a comparator for comparing geometric objects. The class is geometric object comparator, implements comparator for geometric object. The compare method now returns a value depending on the area of the geometric objects. If O1 dot get area is greater than O2's get area, returns 1. Else, if they are equal, returns 0. Otherwise, returns -1. Now we write a test program to use the geometric object comparator. In this test program, we create two geometric objects. One from rectangle and the other is from the circle class. And now we invoke max G1, G2, and using this comparator. So here's max. This is the max to compare two geometric objects and return the larger one between the two. And using this comparator C. So here return C dot compare G1, G2. If it's greater than 0, we're going to return G1. Else, we're going to return G2. So here is to use the comparator. The comparator is a single method interface. And this is also called the functional interface. We can simplify coding using the lambda expression. Instead of using this new geometric object comparator, and I'm going to copy the code from here and put it right here and using the lambda expression. And here's G1, G2. And now, and this is the code. It's right here. This is the lambda expression for comparing G1 and G2. It is the same code from the compare method, and we put it right here, and you don't need this class anymore. And here we have this is C, so now it's a comparator. Lambda expression, it is actually creating an anonymous object. The anonymous object is an instance of the comparator. It implements the compare method. The compare method is implemented in the lambda expression. See that compare G1 and G2. If it's greater than 0, returns G1, else return G2. And you can compile the code now. Okay. All right, so this is the mistake right here. Let's use this 01, 02, and instead of G1, G2. So if you, you can change this to G1, G2. Change this to G1, G2. So this has to be the same, G1. And now compile and run. All right, it doesn't like it because it says G2 is already used here. So, all right, so let's change this to O, 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 O1, O2, O1, O2. Now compile and run. Okay, it is now fine. The comparator interface, it is very flexible and very useful. It gives you a very flexible way to specify almost any kinds of criteria. It is often used along with sorting. So let's look at more examples now. We're going to look at the example here is a sorting stream by length. This is the array of strings. Invoke the sort method in the arrays class to sort the cities and using the comparator. The comparator is this defined as my comparator implements the comparator interface, and compare this now is return S1 dot length minus S2 dot length. So the comparison is based on the length. And run the program, it compiles and runs fine. Now we're going to use lambda expression to replace my comparator class. So we're going to write this is S1, S2, and put the code right here. And copy and paste right here. So now you don't need this anymore. And let's run the program now. It is fine. So this is the sort the strings by their length. This is dollars is 6 characters, and Atlanta is 7 characters. So in this order. Now let's get a reverse order. I want the largest one, the length, the largest character, the string by length is displayed first. So you can now just simply change this sign and to run it again. And now you're gonna see, and you get this Savannah. This is the 8 characters in New York. Eight characters, and Atlanta 7, and this Dallas is 6 characters. Let's look at one more example. Sorting string, ignore case. We have a list of the strings, and this is the list, cities now. Invoke its method sort, and here is the lambda expression for the comparator. And sort is compare to ignore case. So this is sort the strings and ignore the case. You can rewrite the code using method reference. So what I'm going to do is, this is compare, ignore case. This is the method. So essentially you are going to compare 2 strings and using this method, compare, ignore case. And this returns an integer that is the same criteria as returned from the compare method in the comparator interface. So the integer is 1, 0, or -1, determines the order of the 2 string. Now this is method reference, and the method reference is a simple syntax. And here is string : compare to ignore case. And this is known as method reference, which is equivalent to the lambda expression, is S1 dot compare to ignore case S2. And here is compare to ignore case. The compiler automatically translates a method reference to an equivalent lambda expression. So it makes your code simpler and the compiler and works behind the scene and to make the translation for you. The comparator interface has several useful static methods. You can use the static comparing method in the comparator interface to create a comparator. For example, the foreign code sorts a list of the loans based on their loan amount property using comparator.comparing, and this is the loan : get loan amount. This is the method reference, and now using this comparing method, and this will return a comparator to compare the loans based on their loan amount. You can sort using a primary criteria, second, third, and so on, using the comparator's default static method, then comparing method. This is the default method. It's not a static method. So the comparator's default, then comparing method. So we have the list of the loan in the array, and now invokes arrays.sort. Sort the list, and here is comparator.comparing, and using the loan amount as the primary criteria. If the loan amounts are the same, and then using another criteria is the annual interest rate. So here's a then comparing. So this is second criteria. Please do the checkpoint questions under this section 20.5, 20.6. It's in the section 20.6. Thank you for watching this video. See you on the next video.